Hey everybody, and welcome back. So I'm working once again on my prompts, and prompt 9 is Caliente, and I made the very poor decision due to my very lack of spicy tolerance to eat some very spicy food. Well, you know, you get red, you get sweaty, and you feel a lot of pain. And it also made me think of like a really hot day. So I started sketching, and then I came up with this sketch, and I really liked it. So I started working with it in Procreate. I really like it. I've used it a couple times now for doing the line art for a traditional piece, or just a line art for a piece. Just because it's more casual. I can be on the couch, I can be on my bed, and not have to worry about being at my desk to work on something. And instead, just kind of casual, which I like. Anyways. The hardest part is always proportions, like her arm and her hand. I played around a while with that because it was just like, why won't she work? But yeah, luckily I really do like Procreate just to mess around in, shamelessly promoting it. Just personally though. Anyways, so eventually I gave up on the original pose I wanted for the hand and just went with a whole new hand setup because it was ridiculously hard. And hands are ridiculously terrible and hard, and even then I still didn't like this hand, but I was like, you know what, if I keep fidgeting with it, it's not gonna get any better. Because yeah, I spent like 30 minutes on the hand alone, and I was like, I'm gonna go insane, I'm gonna go crazy. So I printed it, I traced it on to the paper with just a Prismacolor color pencil, and then I put some fricassee down to put like a nice little border where I worked on the background first. I wanted a lot of reds and warm colors in it, in the background, but not on her necessarily. Like, I just wanted to keep her outfit pretty simple, nothing too out there or intense. So I try to put a lot of color in the background instead. And sorry, I like to use a hairdryer just because I'm impatient. I should probably work on that. But I need to be a little careful because I seem to be rusty. And I pulled up bits of the paper accidentally. I think I put down a bit too thick of a layer of fricassee because it even took like a good minute to get it off of the paper in the first place. But luckily, you know, you have to be careful when you cut off an image not to do it at the joints, because it can look like your brain just goes, something's not right. But luckily I cut it off around the knee and it didn't seem too bad, composition wise. And then I put a little, just like a base, little very thin, very low pigment base layer on, and then I kind of worked on it like section to section. First I got everything, the base color down for everyone, and then, you know, blow drying here and there. I just used my cutie patootie little Derwent travel palette. I'm definitely a fan of little travel palettes because I have a cat and I don't have a studio yet. I just kind of have my desk in my room for now, and so it's kind of hard to keep your cat out of your things when your cat just like, love me always, what are boundaries? So whenever she gets a little out of hand, I don't have to worry about water getting spilled everywhere or just big messes, really. And then once I got all those down, I started layering up some shadows on each of the section, working on them like one bit by bit, blow drying here and there in between to help it dry quicker. I like the Derwent little travel kit because it has, you know, a good coverage of like your basic colors, and then, you know, just mix from there. But also it dries pretty quickly, so even if you're out and about and you don't have a hairdryer with you, you don't have to wait long for these to dry completely. So whenever I do bring on the hairdryer, I don't have to use it for very long. Just like a few seconds. And then everything's good to go, which I really do enjoy. And then, you know, all that good stuff. Anyways, I'm excited to start working back on traditional stuff because it's been a while since I've worked on my prompts in a bit. But you know, I want to stay on that train of like New Year's resolution of having more finished pieces than the previous year, so I gotta get on it. And also I really want to improve my traditional medium. Like, I've seen my digital art grow, and I want to see that for my traditional art. You know, take classes, watch videos, the whole nine. Because, well, I mean, I love it. I love the watercolor, in all honesty. Like, that's my favorite traditional medium is watercolor. And I just, you know, you're like, should I? Yeah, because it's always hard to dedicate yourself to art, especially because, you know, there's all that negativity that, you know, you don't get anything from art. There's nothing, you know, to gain. But in all honesty, you know, it's all about personal gain. It's about enjoying it. It's not about, like, what can you get out of it, you know? And then I was super excited to work on this piece because I am trying out a new camera on it. As you can see, it's kind of different angle than what I usually work with, and you see like it kind of focuses in and out when it's not really sure what I'm doing. So it doesn't seem too bad, the new camera, which I'm happy about. And then because I was struggling with the old camera, which is why I don't have me doing the line art in the video, because it was like, okay, I need new alternative solutions like now. And then I just did a simple little glaze at the end once everything was like dried, because I don't know, I didn't do it very pigmented glaze, just a very light one, because it's my first time and I'm trying all these new things. It's always great to go outside your comfort zone and figure out some new stuff here and there. Overall, the piece came out pretty darn good. Hopefully, you know, getting there. It was fun using my new Microns though, because I got these pink ones and I was dying to use them, and super happy I got to use them. I was like, I'm sure they'll look fine with that piece. I didn't test them, I just got them today, and I was just like, I want to use them. Like, that need to use a new art supply. But overall, I did like how it came out. You know, went with the sexy lady for Caliente. She's very hot. And I even went in and put in like little sweat beads here and there, which was interesting because it's like you don't want to put too many in one little spot, but you can't have them like not enough, which is always fun to figure out and feel for. And then I gave her just some nice little jewelry towards the end with one of my gold markers. I actually haven't used it in a piece before, and I mean, I had used it in my sketchbook, so I wasn't really sure how I was gonna look on this, because I was like, wait, I've never put this down before. Half the time I'm just taking risks with my pieces just because I want to use something. And then I even was like, well, maybe I should put like a little white border around it when I put the highlights in. And then I realized, nope, leave it alone. It's as good as it's gonna get, and it's perfectly fine and beautiful. And it's always fun to rip off the tape at the end. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and you can always get in on the prompt list and just hashtag. Let me see all the good stuff that comes from that. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment, wherever you feel like. See you soon. Bye.